Well, g'day viewers, and welcome back to another adventure of Friction Zone. In my previous videos, if you haven't been here before, I've got a big full-length video. It goes for about 2 hours and a couple of other shorts, and it goes through all the basic steps you need to take to be able to control your motorcycle at slow speed. And that's what this channel is about, showing you how to control your bike at slow speeds. So when you're out on the road and you're in tight spots, you can maneuver your bike without having your feet on the ground, duck walking and being unstable. So you're in control of your motorcycle. Well, what I'm going to do today is take you through the next one of the other exercises we have, which is in that program. There are nine exercises, and the first 4 exercises will build you up to be able to do these exercises. It's all about controlling the bike, straight up and down, then turning the bars and leaning the bike, and coming through to these, doing full 360 circles, etc. So today we're going to go through, and I've set up here the snowman. Snowman is just 3 circles, 6 concentric circles, starting off with a 22 foot, a 20 foot, and then an 18 foot circle. Now circles, if you go and set them up yourself, you can have them as big or as small as you like. But if you're just starting out, go on the big one. Start at about 27 foot circles and work in there. Once you're used to that and you can do that, then make smaller circles or bring that one in even. Doesn't matter if you haven't got lots of circles, that's up to yourself. But master that circle before you try and move on to the next one. Because you can't do, for example, the 24 foot circle, you're not going to be able to do the 22 foot. Makes sense, right? Okay, so today, like I said, we're just going to go through and concentrate a bit more now on the technique for these ones, as we have done with the other exercises that we've shown you. So go and have a look at that. Okay, Friction Zone GregM. Okay, hashtag Friction Zone GregM, go and have a look. Okay, and then don't forget to like this at the end. So, first circles. When we come into the circles, what we want to do is use all the space. So we bring the bike in on an angle as it is here. We come in and we bring the wheel up as close as possible to the cone. Once we're here, we then head and eyes turn. So the bike's that way, my head and eyes are this way. And as I turn my head and eyes, we then start to turn and lean the bike. Turn the bars and lean the bike. Head and eyes, always looking in the direction that we're going to go. Right, the bike is here, we're looking here. And we take it and we come all the way around, using up all the available space. Coming all the way around. And once we've come around, and we're looking, we're going to go through here. We look over there now because we're going to go through to there. We get to here, we bring the bike upright, and then we transition. We bring the bike in, we bring it over. Once we get to here, head and eyes once again back around because that's where we're going to go, and we lean the bike. Turn the bars slightly and leaning the bike. Turn the bars, leaning the bike. And also through this whole process, as I've said in the other ones, we're offsetting the body. Okay, so we're not going fast enough to lean with the bike. So during this process, we need to offset the body. So if the bike is here leaning, keep the body upright straight. You might want to, like I do, take my bum across to one side of the seat slightly, and that keeps me offset. That just helps to counterbalance the bike because you're not traveling at high speeds like you would on the road going through a big corner at 80 kilometers an hour, and you can lean with the bike because it'll take you through the momentum. In here, you need to offset it. How you choose to do that is up to you, but that's what I normally do. Come up close to the tank, arms in, turn, offset and leaning. And then we continue that all the way on through to the next circle and so on. So that's predominantly it. So it's the wheel positioning, head and eyes going in the direction you want to go, because that's very important, because where you look is where your bike will go. Controlling your clutch and your throttle and your brake. I do these without using the rear brake, but the rear brake is a good friend when you're kicking off to start with, because that helps you control your speed. All right, very minor pressures of the brake, so not herky-jerky pushing down like this and go and dive in your front end. It'll take you way off, out of balance, and you won't be able to get round. So just very minor movements to slow you down, or need to speed up slightly, take it off. Okay, so maintain the throttle, the revs have got to be up, clutch at about friction zone 2, and leaning the bike and counterbalancing. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll go through and see how that looks. Okay, the bike's already here, so we'll take it off from here. I don't need to move the bike anywhere. And we'll go around. I'll talk you through it as we go. So in gear, foot covering the rear brake. Throttle, clutch, foot up. Head nose, right round. Following clutch control. Head nose around. Looking forward now. Going to the next one. Coming back the other way. Nothing changes except the size of the circle. And a control stop. So as I say, head and eyes, throttle control, clutch control. If you're using your rear brake slightly and gently, and you won't have an issue. As we say, the only thing that changes going up there is the size of the circle. So you lean it more each time. It's the only thing that changes. Okay, so like I said, if you're struggling to get round the first circle, stay in your lane, use that circle, don't move on to the next one until you've got that one, you can do that one. Then you can move on. And what that does, it helps you on the main road, turning your bike in tight spaces, okay, which can help. And I'm sure you've all thought about times where you've been in tight spaces, you've had to put both feet down, trying to push the bike back, someone to help you maneuver, and it's a pain in the bum. Well, if you've got these tools in your toolkit, you don't need to do all that. You simply use these techniques to help you out, and that's what it's about. Or if you want to go on from this and do professional sort of low-speed riding, next sort of step up, happy days, up to yourself. Anyway, that's it for the Snowman. Okay, so until next time, stay safe, stay upright, and use the friction zone.